Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonzalez.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoy this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live this Wednesday, the very first day of February, beginning a new month and therefore a new theme. And during this entire month, we're going to be exploring what it means to reclaim your true power. Today's broadcast, we're going to be focusing on exactly what that means, and we're going to be looking at the different ways in which many of us give our power away to others. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to those of you who are joining us just now. Hello, Barbara, all the way out in Namibia. I always appreciate your messages, Barbara, and your emails. Amanda, out in Cape Town, the Cape of Hope, Cabo da Boa Esperança, como se diz em português. Hello, Cindy. Cindy welcomes everybody, says hello, everyone. Sending peace and love and gratitude to you Gabs, for having such a generous heart and sharing your time and almost says window with you. I guess I'm sharing the window of my heart and the wisdom with us. It's a pleasure, Cindy's heart. John, welcome. Welcome, Mary, Rinaldi, Healy, and welcome to all of you who are watching the replay. All right, as we start this new month, I want to let you know what I have in store for you. Today, we're going to be focusing on this key topic of what it means to reclaim your true power. Then on Wednesday, February 8th, we'll be talking about the power to reclaim your freedom. So the focus would be on really freeing yourself up from whatever it is that might be holding you from taking your full power. On February 15th, we're going to be focusing on love, the power to love unconditionally, just the day right after Valentine's Day, the day of love and friendship. And then on the 22nd, we'll be looking at the power to heal yourself. So we're going to be anchoring these awareness of what it means to really unleash the power within, using the energy, the vibration, and the power of your heart. So let me ask you as we begin today's broadcast, on a scale from 1 to 10, how powerful do you feel right now? On a scale from 1 to 10, how powerful do you feel right now? So give yourself permission to feel inward and feel the energy of your physical body. Feel also the energy of your emotional body, mental body, spiritual body. And then what number comes up for you? For me, it's about an 8 right now, especially because I just had dinner and I had a very light dinner. It was one of those dinners that's not going to make you very sleepy and tired, quite the opposite. It's going to give you a lot of energy. So let me know what you are what you're feeling right now energetically. Please feel free to type it into the comment section below. And while you do that, let me take you through a few announcements. I want to remind you that the Heartstart 2023 guide is still available as a free download. This is the invitation, speaking about power, to reclaim your power as a creator and make some very powerful choices about who do you want to be in this next stage, this new year that just began. The guide is going to be available for free. My gift from me to you, from my heart to yours, until the end of this month, until February 28th. So you still have time to download it if you haven't already done that. It's available on my website. And I also want to remind you that if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, comment, share it, anything that you can do to spread this message of unconditional love that we continue to come back for, or remind each other weekly after week in these Heartstreams. And then I also want to let you know that if you find these guided meditations, my weekly Heartstreams, and other free offerings useful, and you would like to express your appreciation by making a donation in support of this work, you can do so by visiting my website, gabrielgonzalez.com/donate. I'm going to place a link right here in the comment section below for those of you who feel called to contribute. And whenever you're ready, if you resonate with my work, with some of the teachings that I share with you week after week, and you would like to take the next step with me, there are 3 different ways in which you can do that. I offer 3 courses: an introductory level course called Heart Mastery, an intermediate level course called Heart Warrior, and an advanced certification training program in Heart Leadership. Okay, all these programs and more information about these programs is available on my website. So let's begin with our topic. But before that, let me see what are some of the numbers that came. Cindy says she's feeling a level of 6. Okay, thank you for being real, Cindy, and sharing your current level of energy. One of the things that I would love to do is, when we get to the end of our time together, if you could also check your level of energy at the end of our guided meditation, just to see what happens rather when we bring the attention inward into the heart. Remember that the heart is the generator of the largest electromagnetic field within the human body. It's the center not only of your emotions, but it's also the entire center of your electromagnetic system. Catherine, welcome. Catherine says hello from Syracuse, New York. So happy to be here. Thank you for everything you do. You're very welcome, Catherine. Catherine says that she feels like she's at a 4 or at a 5. Welcome, Danny in Romania. Welcome, Shelley. Welcome those of you who are joining us right now. And again, the question that I asked earlier was to check your level of energy, and on a scale from 1 to 10, just type in the chat, where do you find your energy right now at this moment? This is kind of like the cumulative of your physical energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. If you could just take all of those and come up with a number between 1 and 10, that would be really wonderful. I have to say that this is a topic that is very dear to me, and I'll tell you why. For the majority of my life, I felt very powerless. I grew up in a home where I felt I had no power, where I felt I had no voice. Okay, don't get me wrong, I had by all standards, a really beautiful childhood with very loving parents, but also it was a very competitive home. I grew up with 5 brothers and sisters, and so everyone had their own way of competing for attention. So when it came to receiving my parents' attention, or getting some of the things I wanted, or expressing myself, I felt very powerless. And I think one of the reasons why I decided in my 20s, right after college, to become an actor was because I had this belief that actors were very powerful people. right? You see them on the screen and they're very powerful, having like this incredible lifestyles, dating whoever they want to, they're making all this money. And so, of course, I would project all my own power, like we often do, onto celebrities, and had this thought or felt like if I became an actor, people would love me, people would look up to me. And the irony of it all is that there was a time when I'd reached a certain higher level of recognition in Venezuela when I was doing soap operas. Yet, guess what? I still felt, I still felt deep down very powerless. I still felt unseen. And I realized that the kind of power that I was looking for all my life was not something that could really be found outside externally. And so this is why this topic is very, very important to me, because some of the things I'm going to be sharing today and throughout this month are some of the ideas and new belief systems that allow me to, over time, begin to reclaim, especially this inner space of power that I continually refer to, the heart, that it is also a metaphor for your center and also your connecting point with the divine. So Danny's saying that her current level of energy or power is 7. Shelly says 6. Shelly, I don't know if you're saying me too, with regards to feeling powerless or wanting to be an actress. So, all right. So let's dive in. I've prepared some interesting things for us to look at. So, what does it mean to reclaim your true power? It means different things, but for the context of today's conversation, this is what I mean. Reclaiming your true power refers to taking back control of your life and embracing your inner strength, abilities, and individuality. It means embracing and utilizing your unique qualities, values, and personal authority to make decisions and live a fulfilling life rather than giving control to outside forces such as societal norms, external influences, limited beliefs, fears, trauma, etc. And we're going to be exploring a little bit more today what it is, or the many different ways in which we give away our power. For any of you who chooses to embark on this path of heart mastery, you're going to notice that as you progress along these stages, as you move from just operating out of your head or the intellect or your rational mind into the second stage of the heart, which is where heart awakening happens, and then eventually move into the stage of the warrior, where you are experiencing more and more and more of the sense of unity with all of life, and then the stage 4 of the leader, wanting to then be a vehicle, or a channel that serves others. You're going to realize that what we're really talking about here is an increase in power. Okay, the majority of us, when we begin this journey, we're still stuck in our heads, feeling powerless, blaming other people. But as we begin to take ownership, and as we begin to wake up to a whole new reality, where we then begin to see ourselves as the sons and daughters of God, and we begin to reclaim our capacity to create like the Creator does, something really wonderful begins to happen. Rather than being powered by fear, we begin to be powered by love and compassion, or the sense of unity and peace, out of which enormous creativity arises. With that, the ability also to make some very powerful loving choices for our life, and then eventually be able to support other people. So it is, for the most part, an inward journey. This is why when I was speaking earlier, there was no way I was going to ever find it in a profession or just by having my photo in a magazine or an interview. Sure, I got a certain high. My ego certainly got a boost, and I love the extra attention and the admiration and the comments. But it was short-lived. And to create it, I have to admit a certain dependency on it. So, to give you an example, some of you may be aware that actors spend a long time working on a theatrical piece or a television show. So you build these very strong families, and there's all this energy around you, the production and the team and everything. So you feel loved and needed, and you feel like you're part of something. But then when the production comes to an end, when you do your last scene and everybody claps, okay, and it's a wrap for Gabriel, then what happens? You go home, and what are you faced with? This deep void. After weeks and weeks and months of activity where you seem to be at the center of this hurricane, nothing happens. And so what happens to a lot of actors is they get very depressed. And that's why you see in many actors the use of drugs and all these different ways in which actors look for attention, and sometimes unconsciously, creating conflict or putting things on social media just to get people attention, like anything to get people's attention again. Because here's the thing, even negative attention, it's preferable to no attention whatsoever. Okay, so if you want to look at this little slide that I shared just a little while, and if you like to know where are you along these 4 stages of heart mastery, in my website you'll find the heart mastery quiz. You'll find it on the front page. You'll find it in different areas where I refer. You'll find it in the menu, and it's just a questionnaire of 10 questions that you get to answer very quickly. And then it will let you know right away, where are you on these 4 stages of the heart mastery journey? And again, this is available on my website. So the same journey is the journey, again, moving from this scale that Dr. David Hawkins created using kinesiology, right? It is, in essence, a scale of power, and you could think of these numbers here that are on the scale, which is a logarithmic scale, by the way. It's not a linear scale, as almost the kind of power or the level of power you are feeling at any moment. So you could see here, these lower level emotions of shame, guilt, apathy, and grief. The reason why you feel so low energy, for example, when you're experiencing grief, the loss of somebody that you loved or the loss of something, it's because grief in itself is a very debilitating emotion, and so is fear. But then as you begin to move into desire, and then the energy of anger and pride, etc., the energy begins to come up. You could see here then, as anger, for example, has way more energy than fear, exponentially way more energy, and so does pride. But what begins to happen here in this scale, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is that we move from this negative polarity, which is, by the way, it's neither good nor bad. Think of this as a battery, okay, and the energy flowing through you. You move into a higher level where you begin then to move into the willingness to take action, the willingness to see things differently, and then a deeper sense of acceptance. You begin to then flow with the natural energy of life itself, then moving into higher levels of reason, and then eventually into what I believe is the most powerful energy that we can access through the heart, which are the energies of love and joy that calibrate at the level of 540. When that happens, my goodness, miracles begin to happen. You feel almost as if life is supporting you, carrying you, and things become effortless. So the journeys across these 4 stages that I mentioned earlier are, in essence, the movement towards the heart that represents the level of love. Okay, which is, in essence, the same path that Jesus the Christ, the way shower, spoke about and became an example. Okay, he was an embodiment, I believe, of what compassion and love look like and feel like. And that's why he left such a big mark, because up until that moment in our planet, pretty much no one had really expressed this higher level of power that comes from perfect union with divinity. This is why in this guided meditations we appeal so much to the living Christ within us. We appeal to the same awareness, to the same consciousness of unity that was in Jesus, that was exemplified by Jesus, as it was also exemplified by Buddha and Krishna and many other saints, bodhisattva, and other spiritual teachers who have reached these higher levels of, call it enlightenment or awakening, whatever word you have for it. Okay, so what I want to do now is, I think that sometimes to talk about one thing, one of the best ways to understand it is by talking about its opposites. Okay, so what I want to do now is just share with you what I believe are the top 10 ways that the majority of us give up our personal power away to other people, the ways in which we give our power away to others. The first way many of us give our power away is by fear, by holding, harboring, nurturing these feelings of fear inside of ourselves. Fear of failure, rejection, fear of the unknown can keep many people from pursuing their goals and living the life that they want. People fear of what would people would say. I remember, speaking about my experience in the entertainment industry, the big fear that kept me from going into acting much earlier than I did, because I began my acting career when I was 24, was first, I was very afraid of what my father would say. And I was also very afraid of what the rest of my family and close friends would say. I mean, I had just gone to this incredible university, gotten a degree on something completely different that was not acting. So I was paralyzed by this fear. So fear is one of the many ways in which we give our power away. Fear keeps us, as the majority of you know, keeps us paralyzed and from taking action. The second way many of us give our power away is by being people pleasing. Many people sacrifice their own needs and their desires in order to appease others or fit in within a particular group, in order to feel loved, to feel needed, to feel liked, etc. This is a little bit of what I was referring to earlier when I was speaking about being an actor and having all this attention. I wanted to please everybody, and obviously I wanted everybody to love me and to like me. So I didn't care what I had to say, what I had to do, as long as I had people's attention. This is one of the biggest one. I can't remember what movie it was, but I remember going to a movie many, many years ago where it looked like it was like a AA meeting. And when the person got up and spoke, they said, "Hi, my name is Gabriel, and I'm a recovering people pleaser." So many of us will start there. All right, so one of the big ways in which we give up our power. The third way many of us give our power away is by engaging in negative self-talk. When people engage in negative self-talk, they weaken self-worth and self-confidence. So when you start putting yourself down, when you start speaking badly about what should be, or who should be rather, your favorite person in the world, which is you. So any time that you attack yourself, it's almost like what the body does when there is a autoimmune disease. Is you're attacking yourself. The fourth way in which many of us give our power away is through perfectionism. Guilty, your honor. Raise your hand if this is one of the ways in which you sometimes give your power away. Perfectionism can lead people to focus too much on what they perceive as their flaws and shortcomings, which takes away from their sense of power and control over their lives. Perfectionism also keeps you stuck and from moving forward. How many of you have not share your song, for example, or share the poem that you wrote, or share something that you created because you feel it's not perfect. And you keep saying like, no, 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 it's not perfect yet. It's got to be perfect. And only when it's perfect will I share it. And then in the meantime, it never gets done. It never gets shared. And then it goes away with you. The next way many of us give our power away is by failing to establish healthy boundaries. By, in other words, having lack of boundaries. When people don't set and enforce clear boundaries, they're more likely to allow other people to take advantage of them, taking away their power in their process. Okay, so when you are, for example, afraid to say no to somebody, okay, we did a whole episode, I remember, or last year sometime, on how to set boundaries. So it basically means arriving at a place where you can tell another person, this is not okay with me. All right. So when you're not able to do that, you let other people walk over you, let other people take advantage of you. So it's very important that you do set healthy interpersonal boundaries. The sixth way is blaming others. When people blame others for their problems, they give up the power to change the situation. So if you're constantly blaming the economy for you not being prosperous, you coming blaming that you don't have this gift, you don't have this skill, or this thing happened to you when you were little, you're blaming your parents because they didn't give you the education, or you're blaming your ex-girlfriend because they cheated on you or they looked at you the wrong way. The more you do that, the more you are keeping yourself from truly doing what needs to be done, right? Because as long as your attention is outside of yourself and you're making somebody else responsible for your well-being, for your happiness, for your power, basically, guess what happens? You're deflating, you're losing power, you're giving their power away. And any time you give another person power, where does that power come from? It comes from you. So you're losing power. The seventh way many of us give away our power is by indecision, being indecisive. Indecision or inaction can lead to feelings of powerlessness and a sense of being stuck. Yeah, so what is that decision that you've been avoiding to make? You're waiting for the perfect moment to decide. You're waiting for life to decide for you. You're waiting for the answer to be revealed. And in the meantime, the days keep on passing. The bills keep piling up. The problem grows bigger and bigger. And the bigger it gets, the more powerless you feel. Why? Because you haven't made a decision. You haven't made a decision with regards to how to solve the problem, seek some help, whatever that may be. So the longer you stay in that place of undecisiveness, the longer you're going to be feeling powerless. Another way, the eighth way of giving our power away, is by comparison. Okay, we spoke about this a little bit earlier. Every time that you compare yourself to others, this will lead to feelings of inadequacy, which takes away from your own sense of power and self-esteem. So do not compare yourself with others. Just compare yourself, if anything, with your own self. So compare the you that you are becoming right now with the one that you were a year ago. Okay? Compare yourself to no one except for you. Why? Because inevitably, every time you compare yourself to other people, right, you're going to feel like inferior or less than somebody else. And so all that's going to do is just going to make you feel worthless. Or you haven't reached a level of success when you compare to other people. So don't compare yourself. There's no need to that. And one of the antidotes or ways to do this is by owning your individuality and your uniqueness. The ninth way is by being in unhealthy, toxic relationships. When people are in unhealthy relationships, they may feel like they are at the mercy of the other person, taking away their power and control over their own lives. Many people, for example, enter into a relationship, and then little by little, this thing that we call codependency or addiction to each other begins to take place within the relationship. And then suddenly you stop being your true self. Suddenly you stop pursuing your passions, traveling, doing those things that you enjoy, hanging out with the people that you can be yourself with. And the more you get absorbed by these relationships, the more you feel like you're at the mercy of the other person, the less you feel like you can be your true self. So let's look at the last one. No, we got two more actually. Number 9, focusing on the past. I think this is evident already. When people focus too much on past mistakes or negative past experiences, they're less able to move forward and reclaim their power. Because why? Your energy is in the past, plain and simply. And the past by itself, by its own definition, it's dead. It doesn't exist. So why put the energy of something that doesn't exist and that is dead? It doesn't make sense. So put the energy in the only place where you can actually do something, which is in the present moment. Oh, there are only 9 here. Oh, something happened. I guess there were 9. I thought there were top 10. All right. Okay. Either I accidentally deleted one of the slides, or maybe I repeated a number. I don't know. I have to watch the replay and find out. What I do know for sure is that it's time now to anchor some of these awarenesses, some of these ideas into this subconscious mind of ours. And what we're going to do is we're going to repeat them now consciously, okay? Just so that we can absorb them. But then during the guided meditation, I'm going to come back again to them. But by that time, we will have established the sense of wholeheartedness, what A Course of Love refers to as the union between the heart and the mind. Okay, think of it also as mindfulness. Some people call it heartfulness. Some people call it being fully present or whole. I don't really care what you call it. Okay, the invitation is to move into that space using the power of the heart, the power of positive emotions, so that it is then the combination of this powerful emotion and speaking this affirmation that will really begin to allow it to be engraved in our unconscious mind and create new neural pathways within. So please place a hand over your heart and please repeat after me. I now choose to reclaim my full God-given power. I am in full control of my life and my choices. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle before me. I let go of the past and fully embrace each moment. It's easy to say no when something doesn't feel right. People in my life love, honor, and appreciate me. I am confident, strong, and trust in my higher power. It is so. All right. Keeping the hand right there in the middle of your chest. Let's turn the awareness even deeper. Closing the eyes. And taking a few moments to inhabit the space at the center of our being that we call the heart, that is more than a beating pump, is more than a gland. It is the energetic center. It's the first organ that develops in the human fetus. It's the first one to speak, to move, to express itself loud and clear. And it's also the last one to go. It's the beginning and the end, and therefore your connecting point to the source, that it's also the beginning and the end of life itself. The eternal heart of God. We begin by breathing now, intentionally, breathing slowly, nice and deep, nice and even, in and out of this heart. We notice the breath. We notice the heartbeat. We notice also the intersecting point where the heartbeat and the breath come together, using one rhythm to influence the other. Feel appreciation now for the heartbeat. Feel also appreciation for the breath. Knowing that as you breathe in and out, and as you commune with this heartbeat, you're also communing and relating to the energy that nurtures and powers your life. Observing the source of power that lies within you, emanating from your heart, warming your breath, reminding you that right here and right now, God is. God is in the heartbeat, God is in the breath, God is in every cell, atom, molecule, organ within your physical body. God is within you and all around you. For all that there is God. The one power, the one presence that governs the entire cosmos. We feel our unity with all of life. Knowing that our hearts are right now connected and unified to the eternal heart of God and to the eternal source of life itself. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, In the name of the Mother and the Holy Spirit. In the name of the I Am Presence and Holy Christ Self of everyone here today, and speaking on their behalf, I declare, I am one with the eternal heart of God. I am one with the eternal source of power. I deeply welcome and accept this power, allowing to enter it into my heart in its full strength and power, as much as heaven's law will allow. Declaring my body temple the temple of the power of God, which is my divine identity, which is my own Christ self, higher self, or divine essence. I accept my human self. I accept my divine self. Welcoming this power in me. Allowing this power now to go to the places within my body where I feel powerless, where there might be some disharmony or disease. I breathe the power into those areas. Let the power of God flow there in the stomach area where there might be some pain. Let the power of God flow to the hips where joints are being repaired, new tissues is growing. Let the power of God flow to the lower back, releasing past emotions of fear, anger, guilt, or shame. Let the power of God strengthen my lower extremities, my legs, my connection with the earth. Let the power of God restore my sense of well-being, a sense of belonging. Knowing that right here and right now I'm standing on holy ground. Feel the power of God in the chest, in the heart. Allow its energy to expand. Lungs clearing up, lungs breathing more, lungs taking in more God force, life force. The breath of God now fill your arms, your shoulders, your head, your neck. The power of God dissolve all blockages in the throat chakra, and anything else that might be keeping you from expressing your truth. Let the power of God penetrate your pineal gland, your brain, the hypothalamus. Let it bring light. That any darkness that may have accumulated may be dissolved. That any traumas that may be stored within this glands of the brain may be released. That the right and left hemisphere of the brain may communicate in perfect harmony and order. And that the overall sense of joy and well-being may now become the new order of this body, of this life. Breathe in the power. Breathe in the love. Say to yourself now, I am standing on holy ground. I am standing in God's power. From this place of power, grounded in the eternal now, the only place where God is, where power is, I now declare, please repeat after me. I now choose to reclaim my full God-given power. I am in full control of my life and my choices. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle before me. I let go of the past and fully embrace each moment. It's easy to say no when something doesn't feel right. People in my life love, honor, and appreciate me. I am confident, strong, and I trust in my higher power. And it is so. And so it is. For the next few moments, allow the radiance of this power within you to grow and expand. See, feel, and imagine that it's creating a sphere of unlimited power all around you. This is what it means to live, breathe, and have your being in God, in spirit. Allow the radiance now to expand beyond you. And now go to everyone who is part of this global Heartstream today. The power Express as freedom, as joy, as healing, as love. Let it flow out from you to every person here. Knowing that as you give, so you receive. Saying in essence, I give this power and I accept this power. Let this power flow to Isabel, to Mary, to Marilyn, to Geraldine, to Shelley, to Danny, to Catherine, to Cindy, to John, to Amanda, to Barbara, to everyone who's here with us today and everyone who's watching this replay. Say in essence, I accept this power. I welcome it. I receive it and I give it. Like a leaf that is open and it gives its love while at the same time receiving the love from the sun. I allow this power to flow through me. Radiating this power now to our family and our friends. Radiating this power out now. Everywhere around the world, where there are people feeling powerless, where there are people operating from fear, from indecision. Your job is just to radiate it. And let power do what power does. Power empowers. Power heals. Power frees. Power loves. Power nurtures, energizes, strengthens. Let it flow. Bringing the awareness inward now. Take a moment to establish a deeper connection with this open, powerful heart of yours. Asking yourself, in what ways am I giving my power away? In what way am I giving my power away? Feel gratitude for the answers that came. And make a conscious resolve to take back your power in this particular area. Choosing to be aware over the next few days In what other ways am I giving my power away? Either by not making decisions, blaming other people, being in relationships that are toxic, failing to establish some boundaries, trying to get other people to love you, to like you, whatever that may be. Choosing to be aware of it, where you can only change that of which you're aware of. And now, as you begin to gently open your eyes and come back to the full awareness of our time together, I'd like to invite you to answer the following question. What new insight, realization, or awareness am I taking away today? And if you would like to, I would love it if you could share it in the comment section below. And also, if you scored yourself at the beginning of our time together between 1 and 10, assigning a number to the level of power, I'd love it if you could share if that number changed. If you could just type in, it went from this to that. I think in my case, I felt like I was at about an 8, and I'm definitely about a 9 right now. How did you grow in power? All right, as we wrapping up our time together, I want to remind you that this theme of reclaiming your power will be continuing to be explored the rest of this month. When we come back next week, February 8th, we'll be focusing on the power to reclaim our freedom. We're going to be doing a little bit of tapping to release some of these negative emotions that keep us from fully embracing our power. Also, I want to remind you that I more than welcome your donations. If you feel these processes are supporting you along your spiritual path and along with my guided meditations, and you would like to express your gratitude, you can make a dedicated donation on my website. A percentage of the proceeds goes to a South African-based organization that is dedicated to bringing hope and healing to children who have been sexually abused. All right, let's see what increase in power happened during our time together today. Jeanette, she says, a fuller heart, open to giving and receiving more. So she went from an 8 to a 9. Chocolate. That's how we say in Spanish when somebody matches you. Mariette says, from an 8 to a 10. Wow, that's a lot of power. Shelly from a 6 to an 8. Mary from 3 to 6. Amanda went to an 8. Cindy from 6 to 8. Isabel from a 5 to about an 8. Geraldine about a 8. Filled with insight and a sense of quietness. Yeah, something about the sense of quiet power, kind of like a snake that is ready to jump. It's like very quiet, still, but ready to act when it's needed. Danny over in Romania says she went from a 7 to a 9, and she says that the insight was taking her power back. She didn't specify what area, but it's the insight of, hey, I didn't know I could do that. I wish somebody would have spoken to me about this topic when I was in my early 20s, getting started as an actor, because I had really no idea what true power was until I started to align with the source of all power. You're going to notice that the more and more and more you connect to your heart, the more you attune with your heart, the more you commune with your heart, and therefore also begin to commune with your own Christ self, the divine essence within you. you begin to align with a higher power. And so that your will, which is another word for power, this is what we call the solar plexus, the center of power in the human body, when it's at the service of the greater will of divinity, you become unstoppable. That's how powerful the heart is. So it's not individual power, it's not the individual will, it's you aligning your will with the greater will of God. At that moment, your will become God's will, and God's will become your will. This is the essence of what heart leadership is all about. And we're operating from the intellect. We're primarily operating from the human will, which is less powerful than divine will. So the moment you align through your heart with the greater will of God and you become available and receptive to the will of God, at that moment, life begins to change. Shelley says, thank you all. Realize how much I'm giving away my power. Cindy's heart says, my biggest insight is I need to be more empowered in making decisions and trusting my decisions. Yeah, great. Powerful insights. All right, my beautiful friends. Thank you once again for lending me your heart and your ears as we do every Wednesday. Thank you for those of you who watch the replays and then post comments later during the week saying, hey, I'm here catching the replay. I really want you to know I don't always have time to read all the comments, but I do read most comments. I appreciate your willingness to continue to come week after week, to allow me to point you in the direction of your own heart and your own inner source of power. I wish you a fantastic rest of the week wherever you are in the world. Reminding you, as I always do, to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Why? Because you cannot give what you don't have. So you want to empower other people. Empower yourself first. Align with your own inner source of power. Until next Wednesday, I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Have a beautiful week. From my heart to yours. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.